Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force.
That was Wednesday. This is Friday. 48 hours after President Trump told the American people that Iran had no anti-aircraft equipment, that their radar was completely destroyed, that the United States was unstoppable, Iran shot down a US Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle over central Iran. Then they hit an A-10 attack aircraft. Then they struck 2 rescue helicopters trying to bring American pilots home, all in one morning. This is not just a story about a jet going down. This is a story about what happens when a government tells its people one thing and reality delivers something completely different. And it is a story about one American who is still missing inside Iran right now as you watch this. This was not a one-time claim. It was a pattern, and the pattern matters. March 4th, 5 days into the war, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth stood at the Pentagon podium and said, starting last night and to be completed in a few days, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world will have complete control of Iranian skies. March 13th, 2 weeks in, Hegseth stood beside the chairman of the Joint Chiefs for a briefing and said, Iran has no air defenses. Iran has no air force. Iran has no navy. Late March, Trump at the White House. Reporters ask about Iran. He says they don't have any spotters, they don't have anti-aircraft, they don't have radar, and their leaders have all been killed at every level. And then Wednesday, April 1st, Trump's first primetime address to the nation since the war began, broadcast from the White House Cross Hall. He said we could hit it and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The F-15E Strike Eagle is one of the most lethal aircraft in the United States Air Force. It flies with a crew of 2, a pilot and a weapons systems officer, the WSO, who manages targeting. Cost per aircraft, approximately $87 million. The F-15E can fly at twice the speed of sound, carry up to 23,000 pounds of weapons, and penetrate air-defended territory at low altitude. The aircraft that went down belongs to the 494th Fighter Squadron, nicknamed the Panthers, based at RAF Lakenheath in Suffolk, England. They had been deployed to a base in Jordan as the 494th Expeditionary Fighter Squadron, flying missions over Iran as part of Operation Epic Fury. Aviation experts confirmed the identity from the wreckage, the red tail stripe, and the U.S. Air Force's In Europe badge, visible in photos published by Iranian state media. This is the first confirmed combat loss of a manned U.S. aircraft over Iranian territory since the war began on February 28th. It is not the only aircraft the U.S. has lost. 16 MQ-9 Reaper drones have been shot down over Iran, and an F-35 Lightning II made an emergency landing in March after Iranian fire, according to CBS News. But this is different. This time, 2 American human beings went down with it. Here is what actually happened on April 3rd. Around 5 in the morning local Iranian time, the F-15E was struck by Iranian fire over Khuzestan province in southwestern Iran, roughly 470 kilometers south of Tehran, near the Karun River. Both crew members ejected from the aircraft. The plane crashed into Iranian territory. The U.S. military immediately launched a combat search and rescue operation. U.S. Special Forces entered Iranian territory looking for the 2 crew members. They found one, the pilot, and extracted him alive. He was rescued and taken to U.S. custody. Israel immediately paused planned airstrikes in the area to avoid interfering with the rescue mission and provided intelligence to help locate the 2nd crew member. But the rescue mission ran into Iran's defenses again. A 2nd U.S. aircraft, an A-10 Thunderbolt II, known as the Warthog, the same ground attack jet that had been used to soften up Iranian positions on Karg Island, was hit by Iranian fire near the Strait of Hormuz while providing cover for the rescue helicopters. The A-10 pilot navigated his aircraft out of Iranian airspace before ejecting over the Persian Gulf. He was recovered safely. 2 Black Hawk rescue helicopters were also struck by Iranian fire during the operation. Crew members were injured, but both helicopters landed safely. 4 aircraft attacked, 1 F-15E destroyed, 1 A-10 destroyed, 2 helicopters damaged, 1 pilot rescued, 1 weapons systems officer still missing. While the United States was searching for the second crew member, the weapons systems officer, Iran made a different kind of announcement. Iranian state television broadcast a message offering 10 billion tomans, roughly $60,000, to any civilian who could capture and hand over the American pilot or pilots. A local Iranian governor issued a public bounty call. Representatives of businesses reportedly added to the reward. Iranian civilians started driving to the crash site in private cars. Videos verified by NBC News showed men in civilian clothes jumping out of a car near a field in southwestern Iran and opening fire at a low-flying U.S. rescue helicopter with automatic rifles. The IRGC had told civilians not to mistreat any captured pilot. But state television was simultaneously running an on-screen crawl telling people to shoot them if you see them. Iran's parliament speaker Ghalibaf, who has emerged as a strongman of the Iranian regime since Khamenei's assassination, went on X and posted, after defeating Iran 37 times in a row, this brilliant no-strategy war they started has now been downgraded from regime change to, hey, can anyone find our pilots? Please? Wow, what incredible progress. Absolute geniuses. Now, the question everyone is asking, if Iran's radar was 100% annihilated and they had no air defenses, how did they shoot down an F-15E, hit an A-10, and strike 2 rescue helicopters in a single morning? The answer reveals something important about how this war is actually being fought. Iran does not have a centralized air defense network anymore. That part of what Trump said may actually be true. The major radar stations, the S-300 systems, the integrated command structures, those have taken serious damage over 35 days of strikes. But Iran pivoted. Military analysts studying the war describe what Iran is doing as guerrilla air defense, the same approach that made Vietnam one of the most lethal environments ever created for American aircraft. Decentralized, mobile, passive, small teams with shoulder-launched missiles and short-range systems that power up, fire one shot, and disappear before U.S. radar can locate them. The most likely weapon used against the F-15E, according to analysis by Middle Eastern press sources cited in defense reporting, the third Khordad system, an Iranian-built missile battery similar to Russia's Buk M2, capable of engaging aircraft at medium altitude. There is also a report that Iran may have used a tactical trap to reinforces the F-15 into an evasive maneuver, and while the aircraft is maneuvering, a ground system fires. The pilot never sees the ground launch. The Pentagon knew this was possible. The U.S. has extensive experience with exactly these guerrilla air defense tactics, from Vietnam, from Iraq, from Afghanistan. Decentralized air defense is extremely difficult to fully eliminate. And CNN confirmed on April 2nd that Iran still retains approximately half of its missile launcher capabilities, one day before Trump gave his primetime speech saying the opposite. The United States is now in a position it has not faced since the war began. One American pilot is missing inside a hostile country that is offering its civilians money to find him. 2 aircraft destroyed, 2 helicopters damaged, and the contradiction between what the president said on Wednesday and what happened on Friday is now front-page news across every major outlet in the world. Trump's response when asked if the F-15 shootdown affects negotiations: no, not at all. No, it's war. And he is not wrong that this is war. But 3 things now become far more complicated. First, the missing crew member. Until he is found, every decision about escalation involves the risk of endangering a U.S. service member who may be alive inside Iran. That limits what Trump can order. Second, the narrative. The entire foundation of uncontested airspace and they can do nothing has been publicly disproven, not by critics, but by Iran's own actions. Congress is now asking questions. Senator Seth Moulton said on Friday, the commander-in-chief doesn't know what he's talking about. Escalation. Trump has already threatened to completely obliterate Iran's energy sources if no deal is reached. Iran has proven it can still fight back. The next US strike, or day, whatever it is, with the knowledge that Iranian air defenses still exist. Trump said Iran had no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar was 100% annihilated. America was unstoppable. That was Wednesday. On Friday, Iran shot down an F-15, hit an A-10, and struck 2 rescue helicopters. 1 American is still missing. The war is now in its 35th day. Iran is still firing missiles every single day, and the administration's narrative about what is happening in Iranian skies has been directly contradicted by what happened in Iranian skies. The question for the next 48 hours: what does Trump do next? Because whatever he decides will determine whether this conflict finds an exit or escalates into something neither side is ready for. In the next video, we break down Iran's guerrilla air defense system in full, how it works, what weapons they still have, and why it is almost impossible to fully destroy. Subscribe now. That video drops this week. I'll see you in the next one.